welcome to the year of 2020 and to my first video of the year 2020, my first video of the decade, and I ended last year with giving you my list for best and worst movies of 2019, so we have to start with the most anticipated movies of 2020. Just a few disclaimers, as always in these videos, we don't know everything that's coming out, award season still hasn't divulged their releases, so I can't wait for those, but I have no idea what they might be, at least for the most part. Also, there are a few movies that I'm sure already have info out there, but maybe I just miss it, so maybe they're not on the list because of that. Those are all the disclaimers. I just have a few honorable mentions before we start the actual top 10. And yes, I still write my notes on actual pieces of paper in 2020, so just to get started, we have Bios. It stars Tom Hanks. It's directed by Michael Spuchnik. That's totally not how you pronounce it, but it's right here. This guy directed great episodes of Game of Thrones. The Trial of the Chicago 7, directed and written by Aaron Sorkin. I cannot wait for that. Free Guy, Last Night in Soho, the next Edgar Wright movie, Raya and the Last Dragon, the new Disney movie. I just haven't seen literally anything from that, so that's why I didn't make the list. Death on the Nile, I loved Murder on the Orient Express. Godzilla vs. Kong, even though I don't actually like either of the Godzilla movies that came out, but I like the Kong one, so I'm rooting for my boy. The King's Man, which has just been delayed till September, and it was originally coming out in February, but I love both the Kingsman movies up until now, so I can't wait for this one. The Gentleman, the next Guy Ritchie movie. I cannot wait for that, and it's just around the corner. Maybe because it's just around the corner, I just give priority to other movies. And finally, Wonder Woman 84. This would actually be my number 11 if I'm honest, but there are just 10 other movies I'm more excited about, so let's get started. Onward, the first of 2 Pixar movies that are coming out this year. This film looks great. I love the fantasy genre, is my favorite genre, and it actually seems like it's pulling off the idea that Bright had very well. Unlike Bright. If there's one thing that worries me about this film is that they already have like 3 trailers and tons of TV spots out, and it's like 3 months out at this point. So, I don't know, maybe they show too much. Even though I haven't seen too much, it just feels like they're maybe a little bit too worried. They're Pixar. They don't need to worry. Apart from Cars, I like every one of their movies. So, be confident, Pixar. I can't wait to see this movie. Top Gun Maverick is just everything I want in a possible Top Gun sequel, and it feels like they're going to give it to me. Tom Cruise actually flying fighter jets. Wow, they're probably not fighter jets. I understand very little about airplanes, but it's Top Gun, and I love both the trailers that already come out. I love the original Top Gun. I'm going to review that one before Maverick comes out. Just give me this movie. Black Widow, the next MCU movie to come out, and I also love this trailer. I'm a big fan of the director, Kate Shortland. I'm a big fan of the entire cast, not just Scarlett Johansson, even though I do love her. And I just like films that come into the cinematic universe and feel smaller and more personal. And this film, the trailer makes it seem smaller, personal, actually really sweet, but also dramatic to what will actually happen to the character of Black Widow. I'm sure she doesn't die because we have already seen her die, but just the personal consequences, I love it. Mulan, and yes, I'm that guy who likes most of the Disney live-action movies up until now. Mulan looks absolutely exquisite. The cinematography is beautiful. I love the epic remix of the song from the original one. This movie looks really, really great. And for other people who might not be able to enjoy the live-action remakes up until now, this one looks like it's actually very different. A different departure from the original. It's actually based on the legend and not necessarily on the movie that they already did. So that is interesting to me. Again, even though I'm enjoying what they've been doing up until now. Seoul is the other Pixar movie coming out this year, and everything just about this concept I love. Inside Out is one of my favorite movies. I love Pete Docter. I love the teaser trailer, even though it was nothing. I understand it was nothing, and still it made me excited. And just this metaphysical story that they're going into, I can't wait to see the themes that it approaches, how it approaches them. It's Pixar approaching this type of material, and I'm confident that they will approach it in the most stellar Pixar way possible. A Quiet Place Part 2 just had its trailer released today on New Year's Day, and it looks great. At first, I wasn't a fan of them going back to the first day when the monsters first emerged. I hope that's not what the story is about. I don't mind if they explore that, but I just don't want the story to be about that. But I love the first movie. I love that the team behind the camera is coming back for the second movie. I hope they don't just cheap out and put John Krasinski in a movie just because he's John Krasinski. Let him be in the director's chair, let him focus on that, and let the story just flow and progress, not regress. But again, with the team behind the camera back, I'm very confident, and after this great trailer, I'm even more confident than I already was. The Eternals is my number 4, and it's the other MCU movie coming out this year in November, I believe, with just a stellar cast and a material that just makes me smile because I'm a fucking nerd. It very much feels like most people are not excited for this movie. It feels very much like what happened with Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, I was the only guy excited for Guardians of the Galaxy. I love this material. I love Neil Gaiman's run. I love, of course, the King Jack Kirby's run. I'm salivating to see this movie and all the cookie imagery and all the cookie storylines that they can possibly go into with the Eternals. And again, with this excellent cast, I don't see a way of them not becoming important characters in the overall MCU going forward. 007 No Time to Die is my number 3. The spectacular trailer just hit recently. It came out in a week that was filled with great trailers. Actually, this was the best one. I cannot wait to see this film, the final film with Daniel Craig on the role. He's my favorite Bond of all time. I actually like most of his Bond movies. I just don't like Quantum of Solace, but I was a fan of Spectre. I cannot wait to see what they do with the story. Cary Fukunaga behind the camera, just the cinematography on the trailer is wow. It's chill-inducing. It makes me drool at looking at it. Ana de Armas is in this film. Mwah. Dune is my number 2, and it's only my number 2 and not my number 1, maybe because there hasn't been a trailer for it, but the cast is fucking insane. Denis Villeneuve is one of my top 3 favorite directors working today. I love every single movie that he's done up until now. He has done nothing but excellence. He has provided nothing but magnificent films. They are all in my top 5 at least of the year they came out. I just cannot wait for this film. And no, I will not read the book. Tenet is my number 1 and my most anticipated film of 2020, not just because it's directed by my favorite director of all time, Christopher Nolan. The cast, once more, is incredible. Just the premise is super interesting, and knowing Christopher Nolan and what he can do with just creative premises is insanity. My head just cannot go into those places, and I love that it can't. The trailer was absolutely superb. I repeatedly watched it like 10 times straight. I cannot wait to see this film. I see this trailer, and I have no idea what is going on, but it involves playing with time. I don't want to say time travel, but it's, let's say, playing with time. It feels like Bourne meets 12 Monkeys. Oh my god, I need this movie right fucking now. And those are my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2020, along with some honorable mentions. And thank you, my beautiful geekies, for watching my best and worst lists, for watching this one, and for staying with me through 2019, 2018, 17, 16 when I started. We're going into my 5th year on YouTube. I cannot wait to bring you all the reviews, all the videos that I might have this year for you. Thank you so much for sticking with me, and tomorrow I'll have a review for The Grudge. So pray for me. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. Don't forget to let me know your most anticipated movies in the comments below. And of course, until the next video, stay beautiful, stay geeky, and don't forget to subscribe and like, because it really helps me out. But most importantly, above anything else, forever and always, love each other and love the movies.